Hi, Ben from Elliotts Driving School. Going over a test route in Boston, done in October 2020, with a very nervous customer. You can see him having a bit of trouble moving the car on the hill. He's basically forgotten where the biting point is at the beginning of the test, and so the car's rolled back a bit. He's managed to save it, and in the end, after a bit of time and reflection, finds his bite point, and off he goes. This chap was very nervous before his test. He's from Cambridge. He'd been doing lessons with me in Huntingdon, where his brother lives, and had been driving around quite nicely. And when we came to Boston, the nerves plus the new place, yeah, it had an effect. So now calming down, making sure that you've got a clear run out onto this dual carriageway. You'll see, compared to the other Boston video, this one's later in the day. There's no traffic along here, so you haven't got to worry about getting stuck in between the train gates. You've got a clear run. They're going up to the roundabout and turning right on it using this lane. Both of them go over. The main thing is that you see there's two lanes, but one's wider than the other, so you've got to go out and wide like that around. So he's done a nice job there, and then they're going to go left into town. So again, my limited experience of like the trips to Boston, pedestrians just seem to walk out in front of you. I mean, this chap stopped, but we had quite a lot on every trip that I've done where people just look at you and keep walking. So be wary of them. You see he's trundling through the road here. So they're carrying on past like the bus station, and he's doing the right thing with the bike. Maybe getting a little bit close in this point. I'm pretty sure he will have picked a mark up for that, because he went for the overtake a little bit early. And then sticking to the mini roundabout, you see the traffic there. So if you're going in right on the roundabout and then right at the lights, which is what he's doing, he has to wait for there to be room at that roundabout. If the examiner says to go right at the roundabout and straight at the lights, exit the roundabout in the left-hand lane. Okay, if they ask you to go ahead at the roundabout and then right at the lights, exit in the right-hand lane, so that you're already in the right place. And then they're turning right up towards Asda. Let's see, carrying on past Asda. What you're watching here, although it's sped up, you'll see in places quite a timid drive. This chap, won't mind me saying, a bit too obsessed with procedure rather than just getting on with the job and doing things safely. It's a bit like, oh no, I must do this before this, and it's really bad if I don't. It's like, right, you sort of gets the job done. And there's sometimes he'll be like, oh, I forgot to do this, or I should have gone around that corner in second gear. You're like, well, you went round it in third and it was all right. It was okay. It was a big enough corner. The car didn't do anything wrong, so it's not a problem. But yes, going around sort of town part of Boston to start with, and then going and doing a run out in the countryside as well. So yes, a timid drive. You'll see that as they come up to a mini roundabout here. That was a reasonable chance, but waited to be clear. So yes, this is how you in effect have a scrape through. You actually got 14 minors in this, and you think that 15 is a fail. Just lots and lots of little bits wrong, a few mirror issues, and going too slow sometimes, going he went a bit quick at a couple of points, and importantly, even though he's passed, we're doing some more lessons just to get him really up, because he was as surprised as I was at how much, when he went to a place that he wasn't familiar with, how much of an effect it had. So they're about to go and do an emergency stop. So as ever, examiner will look round before. Don't brake when they do that. Wait for them to raise their hand and say stop. Get the car stopped quickly, handbrake neutral, and then shoulder checks before you move off. And if you forget your shoulder checks, admit it. Okay, that's been the difference between passing and failing on one of my tests in the past. So yeah, out in the country road, taking his time. What we're doing there, 30, going up to 40 miles now. It's fairly clear, probably a bit bumpy, but so progress reasonable. He's not going too slow. Could go a bit quicker. And yeah, because you're out in the countryside, really, in this sort of area, you're going to expect to find tractors, other farm vehicles, mud on the road. So when you've got a clear view, it's all right, pick it up. But when your view's restricted, just think, what could I meet the other way? Just be prepared. So this bit, not a lot going on really. Quite a lot of countryside. I imagine this is where, when you're driving along, you're probably going to end up having a little bit of a chat with your examiner. They won't tend to get you talking when it's busy, but a bit of small talk about what you do for a job, and would you be working today, odd little bits, and then coming back into town, making sure that you're down to your speed limits in time. You'll definitely, as we come up here, you'll see no, wrong bit, junction. There's a roundabout coming up in a bit. Having watched this through once, and you see some hesitation there. Notice step changes in the speed limits as well. So when they step up, if it's going like 30, 40 national, make sure that you're just having a quick glance in the mirrors before each time, because especially as a learner, people will be like, oh, go on, let's get past them quick. And what you don't want to be doing is speeding up as someone's lining you up for an overtake, because you're going to make the overtaking distance longer if you speed up. Just sort of hold your current speed, let them do the pass, and then speed up behind them once they've got a bit of a gap. Likewise, going downwards on the speed limit, I think we've gone like their national 50-40. Making sure each time that you're, if when you spot the signs, don't leave it to the last minute to brake for them. If you've got someone quite close to you, you want to be able to brake softly, rather than just jab the brakes on and nearly get hit up the back. So yes, here we go. This is the roundabout here. You'll see him come up and be quite hesitant. You see you've got all the blocking traffic here. Should really have been using that to get going, and because he hasn't, now there's no one coming from the other way to block, so he has to sit for a while. And then they're going to come into this car park here by Dunelms, and they're going to be doing a forward bay park, to deal with that car. That's fair enough. That go with them parked there, that's quite awkward. Because this car park is one way, normally on a forward bay park, what they want to do in a normal car park or standard car park is that whatever way you choose to go in, they'll let you choose to park forwards to the left or to the right, and then they'll get you to steer out the opposite way, as long as you can get to the exit that way. But in this case, there's a one-way system on the car park, so we've got to reverse out the way you come. They won't get you to break the one-way system of the car park. So yeah, back out into a bit of countryside. Making sure that again you like your reasonable width road here, but just making sure that you're not hugging the left of the road too much. Like his road positioning seems fine here. When visibility drops, you know, get your speed down. Just think about where the road vanishes in front of you. Like on those country roads, if where the road's disappearing around the corner, if that point is getting closer to you, then slow down until it stops getting closer. You know, you'll always, if you do that, you'll always go around the corner thinking, oh, I could have gone a bit faster. But that's better than being like, you know, like jumping on the brakes literally as you're about to get to the bend. Yeah, it helps keep your speed measured and calm, and deals with people coming the other way. Equally, you know, ultimately it lets you stop in the distance you can see. So angled start then, all tests do this. The examiner gets you to pull up about a car length away from the car in front, and they're just checking that you can, you know, move off safely away from it. Make sure you're not going to like get really close to the car as you move away. I still find it quite odd that they still do that even if you do the parallel park as your manoeuvre, because you've done it. You know, you did it when you left the parallel park, but that's just procedure, I guess. So yeah, around more houses. So it's a fair mix of country road and housing estates with this route. Quite a long one as well. They're out for the pretty much the full 40 minutes, a bit longer than that. They come out going left on the roundabout and back to the test centre. So because they've gone left at the roundabout, it's nice and easy. They're not having to deal with sort of any lane changes to come back in, and yeah, back into the test centre, and haven't even bothered going in the space. They've just pulled up in front of the examiner's car, and then you see me in like speedy mode hopping across to come and join him for the debrief. So I hope that's a useful video. As ever, on the comments, please ask if you have any questions on it, and click subscribe for more help.